Hello, everybody. Thanks for stopping by Greg's Beer Reviews today. It's about that time. Let's go take that walk and see what's in the fridge today.
Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Today's beer comes from Captain Lawrence Brewing Company. They're out of Elmsford, New York. This is their Palate Shifter Imperial IPA. This comes in at 9%. Very nice label on this. Got a lot of wooden planks on there. Got 9% alcohol on there, and in bright yellow writing it says bottled on 11. So it was bottled on 11/21/2016, and underneath that it's got the time stamp, but it's in bright yellow writing, very easy to read. And here it is, January 28th or 9th. So this is around 2 months old. So it should still have some very nice uh, qualities to the beer. It's got 90 IBUs on the other side, so it's got the bottled on date, it's got the ABV and the IBUs right on the bottle here. Very easy to see. So 2 thumbs up to those guys at Captain Lawrence for doing what they do. That's the way it should be done, guys. That's exactly the 3 bits of information on this style of beer that we gotta have. Not an enjoy by, best by, used by, or whatever date that these silly ass brewers are putting on them now. I want to see the bottle on date. Let me decide when I want to have it. That's what's got to happen. And if you don't do that, I'm going to burn your ass up on the review. We don't want to see this enjoyed by, used by shit on the bottles, because that's for your benefit, not ours. And we have no idea whether you're giving it a 3 month, 4 month, 6 month, 8 month, 12 month shelf life on your damn beer. Let us see when it was put in a bottle. That way, if we look at it and it's already been on the shelf 3, 4, 5 months, we can let it sit on the damn shelf. And not enjoyed by it. Oh, they just brewed this beer, because you typically think these guys on this style of beer, they're going to want you to have it in 3 months or earlier. And a lot of these brewers are not that way. They're more interested in dollar and making those sales for 6, 8, 12 months. But that has a downside to it also, guys. If you go in and buy this beer and it's got an enjoy by date on it and it's been sitting on the shelf somewhere or in a warehouse and it's 6 months, 3 or let's say 4 months or older, you're going to get a big malty mess. And will you buy it again? But I don't understand why they think they can lose sales. I guess they think there's enough suckers out there that's going to, if they're not going to sell it to you again because it's old beer, they'll sell it to somebody else. So I just think they're going to lose customers over that. They would lose this one anyway. If I went and bought it and it was 5 or 6 months old and it was an IPA or a double IPA, and I either drank it or reviewed it, you think I'm going to buy it again? Probably freaking not. So, and I'm here to tell them for you, because since you guys don't have the voice, I'm the voice to tell them. Stop doing that stupid shit. Put a bottle on, put a can on there, let us decide. We don't want you to decide for us. We're tired of that. Alright, enough of that. Let's get on with it. Commercial description. When your everyday IPA no longer satisfies your craving for hoppy nectar, you have to experience a lupulin threshold shift, and the only cure is more hops. Palate Shifter is brewed using American-grown hops and dry hopped for an extra aromatic kick. But it doesn't tell us what hops they've used, so I would like to see them put that in the commercial description. Yeah, we use Mosaic, we use Cascade, we use Columbus, we use whatever, Simcoe. Tell us what hops you use too. That'd be nice to have that on the label. Yeah, we brewed this with this hop and this hop. So, but not critical. If you're really interested, you may be able to go to their website and they'll tell you what hops they use. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So, anyway, Well, that's all we need to talk about here. We've got the IBUs, we got the ABV, we got the commercial description. Let's get into it. This was sent to me by Rico, my brother Rico, and he did send a note here, and it says picked up a 4-pack and it was $10 for a 4-pack. So thanks again to my brother from a different mother. Very nice cap. I gotta save this cap. We'll put this on the fridge downstairs. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to tell you cuisine is barbecue, cheese is pepper, Monterey, pepper jack, sharp, blue, cheddar, your stronger cheeses, gorgonzola, limburger. The meat is game, grilled meat, and salmon. Glassware to snifter, tulip oversized wine glass. And since it's a 9%, it says you can accelerate, but that'd be a ghastly mistake. Don't do it. Drink them fresh, you can get your little grubby hands on them like I do, guys. Didn't pour a big head, just barely covering the top of the beer. We got kind of cloudy up here, so I'm not sure if it's an unfiltered beer or not. I can see a little bit of light down through the thin part of the glass here, but it is kind of cloudy up there on the upper part. Nice amber color. Let's get a nose to it. Oh yeah, I mean I'm still getting some nice hot presence here. Pine, grapefruit, kind of citrusy. Maybe some hints of some tropical fruit. I am getting a slight bit of booziness in there at 9%. But nothing off-putting. Hopefully it won't have a big boozy taste to it. Smells very nice for an Imperial IPA. I'm pleasantly surprised. Of course, Captain Lawrence does some really tasty stuff. So let's see what it brings. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Rico. Very pleasant. Now, it's no juice bomb by any means. It's not to the Trillium or Treehouse, but it does have a very nice citrusy, piney pineapple. But there is some slight hint of some alcohol in there. I can even smell it. And when Rico was here and we were smelling it, he can't smell. I can usually blindfold it. I can smell whether it's a double IPA or a single IPA by the aroma that I get now, with the amount of beers that I've reviewed and tasted. And this has that same stronger, maltier base that it takes to brew a 9%, and then on top of that, the amount of hops it takes to balance that 9% back out. So it's not overly boozy and not overly sweet or not overly anything. You want a nice balance between the hops and the malt when you get to the 9%ers and bigger. So, but once you get into that 13–15% and bigger beers, sometimes it's almost impossible to have that much alcohol. So this does taste very, very pleasant. Very, very pleasant. And some of these brewers can hide the alcohol better than others. But this is a decent Imperial IPA. And like I said, the first month this was in the bottle, it would probably had a little bit more aromatics and a little bit more hot presence, but it just stayed, it's still tasty. Now, 2 more months down the road, and that hops that I'm getting is going to fade over a little bit more, and you're going to get a little bit more maltiness in the beer, and at 6 months it's going to be a big malty mess. So that's why we want this bottled on date, guys. We got to have it. We got to have it. We don't want these fools putting in enjoy by, use by date or best by date on it and giving it a 4, 6, 8, 12 month shelf life. Not going to fly in my book anymore. So, well, let me sip on it and let her have a taste 2 or 3, and we'll come back after I'm sipping on it and see where she ends up. Alright guys, I'm back. Got a little left here. Decent beer. I mean, I don't think it's to the A+, outstanding world class category, but it is a very tasty Imperial IPA. And the fresher you can get your hands on this, the better it's going to be, guys. And since these guys are up in New York, you guys can probably get it pretty fresh. Like I said, Rico sent this to me, and he can get a lot of fresh beers up there where they send in the warehouse down here for weeks, if not months at a time. They're still selling Bell's 2 Hearted Ale down here that's over 3 months old. So, and I won't be purchasing. I won't be purchasing it anymore until I see a fresher batch in here. I cannot get Bell's 2 Hearted Ale in here that's not at least 2 months old. I don't understand that. Why does it take that long to get that beer to the shelves? I just don't understand it. It blows me away. And that was my go-to beer, guys, for a long, long time. But now, if it's sitting there and it's 3 months old, it's gonna be sold to some other sucker. It ain't gonna be sold to me. I'll just let it sit. I'll buy it when it's 6, sometimes even 7 weeks old. But once it gets over 8 weeks old, I will not buy it. And I'm not saying it's going to be bad then, but it's not going to be the same as it was the first month it was put in the bottle. So, excuse me. that beer here is a tasty beer. And like I told you earlier, Captain's Lawrence does some really tasty beers. They do some good stuff, and I love the way they're dating their stuff. Got the IBUs, ABV, and a nice bright yellow ink on the bottle. Tells you when it was bottled on, not enjoyed by or best by or used by or whatever. I enjoyed this. This is very tasty. Even still, that's as old as this one is, and still within the 3 month, and that's what I give it. I give it a 3 month shelf life. If it's an IPA or a double IPA, if it's within that 3 month shelf life, I will buy it. I'll give it a try. But once it reaches that 3 month shelf life, to me, it's reached its end. And when it gets to the 7 week period, to me, well, not 7 week, but 11 week, 3 months, 4, 8, 12. Once it gets to that 11 week period, the people that have this beer on the shelf should mark it down. They should get it out of there. They don't want this beer sitting in there when it's 13, 14, 15, 16 weeks old or older. So, tasty beer. Final joke. Very nice. Citrusy, piney, grapefruit, slight hint of some pineapple. Pineapple is not overwhelming in this beer. Slight hint of some oranges or tangerines in there. Very well done for a 9%. Now this warmed up. The alcohol is either subsided a little bit or I've got used to drinking it. That's how that goes a lot of times. When you first taste it, oh man, that's heavy alcohol. By the time you get to the end of the beer, not quite so heavy because it's just like bourbon. You take your first sip, pow, pow, it hits you hard. Time you get to the end of the drink, oh, I'm ready for another. And the second drink's not going to taste quite as boozy as the first one did, especially in the first couple of sips anyway. Very nice. I enjoyed this beer. Guys, to me it's an A beer. I'm going to give it the 8, A-. 92 would be where I put this beer. So, let's run over to Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate has, hey, Beer Advocate has a 92. I agree with that 100%, guys. I'm in agreement with those guys. Outstanding. Rate Beer has us at 87 overall, 47 in style. So evidently these guys didn't like it quite as much, or they're drinking a little older beer. If I'd have had this at 4 months old, I would probably have it down in the B category myself. You need to drink these beers fresh, guys. You do. If you want that optimal hot presence and not have a big maltiness on it, you need to drink them fresh, guys. No matter what the ABV is, especially on the Imperial, because once it gets to the 8%, they'll tell you here on Beer Advocate or Rate Beer, oh, you can sell this beer. You cannot. You cannot. Those hops are going to fade. Just like a coffee beer. Whether it's an Imperial or a regular stout or even a porter. If they've used coffee in that, that's going to fade over time too. So don't sell your coffee beers either. And I've actually got a coffee beer in there that my brother Nate has sent me. And I'm probably going to do that one tomorrow. We need to get these beers that have the ingredients like hops or coffee that fade over time. You need to drink those beers as fresh as you can. Even if they're Imperials, you still need to drink them fresh. Untapped has it at 3.86, which is in, as far as I'm concerned, that's in their bottom A category. Because I'm not seeing anything above a 4.56 or 4.57 from Untapped. So, and that would be their 10 beer, as far as I'm concerned. I've not seen any bigger grades than that from those guys over there. So, and I don't understand that. There should be some 5s in there. But they're based it on what everybody is giving the grade. So there are some yuppies, puppies, and I'm not going to say it, but there are some lightweights that go by these Imperials and these world-class 10 beers that just blows their head off, and they give it a lower grade. If you can't handle that beer, don't say, oh man, this is a 3 or a 4 beer, because you couldn't handle it. That brings all the average ratings back down. So it's sad, but that's the way the ratings work on these sites. Everybody posts what they think of it, and then they average them out and give it the grade. Some people think it's world class 10 beer or 5 beer. That's how their grade is, and other people don't. I mean, it just overwhelms them. You know, it's just like somebody just turned 18 and goes by as 151 rum, and it, you know, one glass puts them face down in the dirt. And oh man, I couldn't handle that. Yeah, that's the way a lot of these beers are too. If you're not used to drinking an Imperial 13, 14, 15%, or a world class beer that's a 10 beer, and it just cripples your ass up, or you didn't like it, it overwhelms your palate, and that's what they give it. So we gotta take these grades with a grain of salt. So try it for yourself, and then you make the judgment on whether it is or not. Because beer tastes are subjective, guys. What I may love, you may hate. And what you may love, I may hate. Depends on where your palate is at the time that you're drinking the beer. If you've not had anything in that style or that magnitude, it may be overwhelming. And if you're used to drinking that stuff, and you drink something a little lighter, it may be underwhelming. So we're going to wrap it up on this one. If you've had this one from Captain Lawrence, or Palate Shifter, Imperial, or Double IPA, let me know what you think, guys. Come on back tomorrow. Let's pick something out of the fridge. See you then.